What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Sav Show. My name is Savilian. Today I'm just talking about, today I'm just being grateful, okay? I'm just being grateful. I'm being grateful for everyone who's tuned in, listened, played, shared, consumed in any way, shape or form, any of my content over the year. So obviously Spotify did their Wrapped scenario last week. Everyone went crazy about it, and so they should. Like, it's pretty exciting stuff. It's all fun. Obviously, there's this weird like paradigm that kind of like evolves around that time where people are like either, and you know, I'm culpable, or I've been guilty of both sides of this coin, where people are like either really pleased and satisfied with their results and all the things they've done and all the things they've consumed and all the things that they've been a part of, or B, they're like embarrassed or shy or scared or concerned, just basically having negative feelings about where they are in their journey. And yeah, it's a weird time because you got like obviously people putting out their numbers and getting praised for that, and then you got this other wave of people who were like telling everyone not to be so concerned about the numbers and worry about the journey and worry about the process and stuff like that. And both things are equally valid and valuable. They both have their place because, you know, one, people should be celebrating what they actually do. And then two, people should be, you know, not as concerned about them as they are and just actually focus on the process and the journey. So it's like this, weird kind of like paradox where you have to kind of care and then you have to also not care at all. And, you know, every individual is going to be kind of doing that easily or struggling with that in their own right. And yeah, I just encourage everyone to tackle it however it comes, but don't run away from it is probably the only advice I would offer. So yeah, every year I mean, look, my numbers have never been fucking great. And I tell myself every year, I'm like, do you know what? As long as some people care. And I equally feel both of these things. I equally feel like I have not done enough and like annoyed with my lack of numbers. But I equally remind myself like, no, every single one of those is an actual person that's listened, is an actual person that's saved it, is an actual person that's shared it and cared about it. And those all matter, you know? And yeah, and you know, the fact that I was like a top 5 artist for a few people and the fact that I was a top 10 artist for a bunch of people, that's all cool. That's all beautiful. And so it deserves credit and it deserves to have attention put on it. But it also doesn't have to be as important as people kind of make it out to be. Like, what are the real connections? What are the real conversations that you've had? Do you feel like you're building your narrative? Do you feel like you're building in the right direction? Do you feel like you're actually moving forward and adding value to yourself and the world around you? Then if you can answer yes to those things, then I think that's all that actually matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's all that actually matters. But I also wanted to get on here and just say thank you to everyone who streamed, downloaded, shared, commented on any of the podcast related content as well, because, you know, I got the Spotify podcast Wrapped thing, you know, which is Spotify for podcasters. It's the same as the Spotify Wrap for music, but it's for podcasters. And yeah, I'll just read back a couple of numbers here, which I found fascinating and cool, and yeah, I'm really proud of. So I was the top podcast for 11 people, which is fucking unreal. So thank you to those people. I was a top 25 podcast. I was a top 5 podcast for 22 people. That's hectic. Thank you. And I was a top 31. I keep reading these numbers backwards. Let me start again. I was a top podcast for 11 people. That's hectic. Thank you so much. I was a top 5 podcast for 22 people. That's hectic. Thank you very much. I was a top 10 podcast for 31 people. That's insane. Thank you very much. So that's just a quick look at the numbers. You know what I mean? Like top podcast for 11 people, top 5 podcasts for 22 people, top 10 podcasts for 31 people. That's cool. Like my numbers aren't hectic. And you know, I'm okay with that. But every single week people tune in. Every single week people take something from my content. Every single week, you know, I'm adding some value to someone somewhere. And yeah, it keeps fuel on the fire. It keeps me motivated. And I know that there are people with their eyes and their attention on what I'm doing. So I'm just going to keep showing up. People will drop in and out. People will have their commentary. They'll have something to say. They'll have their questions at their own time when they're ready. And in the meantime, I just got to keep on my journey, keep walking this path, and keep putting out dope ass content that keeps the people entertained and educated. And that's all I can do. So yeah, I love this. I love turning on this fucking camera right here and speaking into this microphone and talking my shit, recording it into Logic Pro, and then editing that, and then punching it into Final Cut Pro, and then editing that, and then bouncing it out and uploading it to Spotify for podcasters, and uploading it to YouTube, and then cutting them up in CapCut, cutting the shorts up in CapCut, and then uploading them to all the various platforms. I love this shit. And I mentioned this last week. I don't make any money. I don't think I've made any fucking money. I don't know how to make money, but it hasn't stopped me. You know, I'm still here. Like fucking, I've made 150 podcasts in 2 years. I don't know how many hours of video that I've edited and released. I don't know how many articles I've written. I don't know how many shorts I've cut up. Haven't made a fucking cent, but it's all reps. And one day, somehow, somewhere, this will all be worth it. If anything, for myself to have proved to myself that I can just keep showing up regardless of results. You know, this is not result. I'm not results orientated in the way that I process this work and get on with this work. This is all about me. This is all about my journey. This is all about my process. It's all about you know, becoming a person that just shows up and gets the work done. And I'm here for that. I love that. And yeah, as long as I can wake up and just feel confident that I'm that guy, then, you know, the rest of it ain't shit. I love obviously having fans. I love having people tune in. I love sharing my wisdom and exploring these things and having people tune in with me. I love all of that. But as long as I'm proving to myself that I'm a guy that shows up and gets it done, then that's enough. And right now I'm doing that, so that's cool. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you very sincerely to every single person who has tuned in, who has listened, who has shared, who has commented. I see you. I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. I'm grateful for you. And if anyone out there needs to ask me a question, has any comments, concerns, anything they want to raise with me, please go ahead. I'm always open. I'm an open book, baby. And I'm ready to help, ready to be here to help. So yeah, let me know. Drop a comment. And yeah, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, the podcast. If you want to check out my weekly newsletter, you can do that below. Anyway, I'm going to sign out now. Thank you all again for a hectic year. I'm going to do a proper year in review podcast a little bit later. But for now, this is just a quick look at the podcast numbers and a quick thank you to everyone who's tuned in and supported it this year. So yeah, appreciate y'all. Big love. People's champ. Big Sava. Signing out. Let's go.